is yet to strike a consensus among the parties and aspiring leaders regarding the sharing of seats for the upcoming November 20th elections. Out of 165 parliamentary seats, a consensus, according to sources, has only reached for 90 constituencies, which means that an intense debate is ongoing for the rest of the 75 constituencies. There have also been issues of the new leadership post-election among a number of factors, which has made the seat division formula all the more tricky. Good morning, I'm Chitrakar, and these are the headlines of the hour. The last session of the House of Representatives scheduled for the 17th of September, coming Saturday. Speaker Agni Sapkota to host a farewell function on the last House session day. Brainstorming on a number of social issues held at the Kantipur conclave, former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli says the country has failed to nourish political culture. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia aims to deprive people of light and heat by causing power cuts across eastern Ukraine in revenge for a Ukrainian counter-offensive. And Sri Lanka left Asia Cup with a resounding victory in the title clash against Pakistan. Rajapaksa shines with a bat, Hasaranga declared player of the tournament. The last session of the House of Representatives has been scheduled for the 17th of September, coming Saturday. Speaker Agni Sapkota is hosting a farewell function on the last House session day. The Parliament Secretariat confirmed that the last session of the House of Representatives has been scheduled for 17th of September and a farewell is being organized for the lawmakers on that day. In the meantime, the Secretariat of the Speaker has said that a meeting would be held on legal experts regarding the proceedings on the last day of the House. The Secretariat of the Speaker has said that since the Election Commission has asked for the closed list of the proportionate candidates for the parliamentary elections on 18th and 19th of September, no further meetings would be held after 17th of September. Even as the Constitution has provisioned for the 5-year term of the Parliament, political parties have been defining about the ending of the House of Representatives to suit their interest. The elections of the Parliament and Provincial Assembly were held on 2 separate days during the 2017 general elections. During the 5-year term that saw 11 sessions, some 152 bills were registered at the Parliament, while 89 bills were authenticated by the President. Some 11 bills have been withdrawn, while 43 bills are under consideration. Serious discussions were held on the second and final day of Kantipur conclave yesterday on women in politics, public speaking, use of social media, raising the standard of Nepali songs and music, among other social issues. Discussions were held on women now first in leadership as the fourth session of the second day of the Kantipur conclave. At the session, the experiences and complaints of female public representatives who were victorious in the local level election held earlier this year were shared. The speakers at the session shared their experiences of having to manage their homes and to be involved in politics and struggles they had to go through, among others. There were some interesting discussions in the first session on the topic public speech style. Speaking at the session, senior heart specialist Dr. Bhagwan Koirala said that the general public needed to be more careful in the use of social media. Dr. Bhagwan Koirala opined that misuse of social media would lead to trivial issues being highlighted, while the national pressing issues would remain in the background. Speaking on the session, Musical Boundary, speakers informed about lack of promotion of traditional songs, music and instruments. The speakers expressed concern that Nepali musical instruments were on the verge of extinction. The speakers also shared their experience that the international market can be reached through social media to make earnings. CPN-UML chairperson and former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has said that the country has failed to nourish political culture. Speaking at the second day of the third Kantipur conclave organized by Kantipur Media Group yesterday on the topic Policy and Politics, CPN-UML chairperson Oli stated that there had been no development in political norms and culture in Nepali politics. Oli said that there is no comparison of Nepali politics to the well-managed politics of a developed country like the United States. Speaking at the session, Oli accepted that the trend of nominating the Chief Justice, office bearers of the Constitutional Commissions, Governor, among other high-profile officials who are associated with political parties persists in the country. Oli challenged to find out who CPN-UML's Finance and Planning Department's member M. Adhikari is. Prior to this, speaking on the session on geopolitics and economic diplomacy at Kantipur Conclave, professor and development economist at India's Jawaharlal Nehru University, Mahendra P. Lama, said that Nepal has the opportunity of reaping maximum benefits from the Southeast Asian geo-network expansion. The renowned professor from the JNU, Mahendra P. Lama, viewed that Nepal could lead a number of projects on infrastructure development in the Southeast Asian region and that the projects can lead Nepal in the path of development. Professor Lama also informed about Indian initiative to expand road network in South Asia. He added that India is working on road network that will connect India with Dhaka, and if this materialized, Nepal can be directly connected as far as Thailand. Businesses have demanded the easing of obstructions, which they have termed an undeclared blockade by the Chinese side at Tatopani Transit. Officials from Nepal Trans-Himalaya Border Commerce Association and Sindhu-Palchok Commerce Association met with Minister of Foreign Affairs Naren Khadka, demanding that Nepali side should take the initiative in easing the undeclared blockade. The businesses have presented the memorandum to Minister Khadka on the eve of the Nepal visit by China's National People's Congress head Li Zhangshu. They drew the attention of the government, saying that due to the obstacles at Tatopani Transit for the past 7 years, many business owners have also reached a stage of committing suicide. Minister Naren Khadka, on his part, committed that he would pitch the grievances of the Nepali businesses at the meeting with the high-profile Chinese officials today. Prior to the 2015 April earthquake, over 150 freight trucks used to cross the Tatopani Transit, while the number has been negligible all these 7 years. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the general public in several provinces regarding difficulties of political parties to finalize seat distribution and name of candidates. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सीट संख्या जम्मा 165 भयो गठबन्धनमा नेताहरू धेरै हुनुभयो
नेताहरुमा ठ्याक्कै निर्णय गर्न सक्ने क्षमता त छैन
राजनीतिक दलले देश बनाउने भन्दा पनि सरकार बनाउने तर्फ लागेका छन्
गठबन्धनको कारणले गर्दा
कोही त एउटा वडामा सदस्य बन्न लागेका हुँदैनन् उसमा संघ र प्रदेशमा उठ्न खोजेको हुन्छ
नेताहरू धेरै जन्मिएर
सक्षम उम्मेदवार नभएको कारणले
Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: what could be the reason for the delay in opening the blocked Tatopani Transit? Your options are A. Faulty diplomacy, B. Indifferent government, and C. Geographic constraints. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. The last session of the House of Representatives scheduled for the 17th of September, coming Saturday. Speaker Agni Sapkota to host a farewell function on the last House session day. Brainstorming on a number of social issues held at the Kantipur Conclave. Former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli says the country has failed to nourish political culture. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia aims to deprive people of light and heat by causing power cuts across eastern Ukraine in revenge for a Ukrainian counter-offensive. And Sri Lanka left Asia Cup with a resounding victory in the title clash against Pakistan. Rajapaksa shines with a bat, Hasaranga declared player of the tournament. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.